Y'all want to know what my favorite Sonic song is?
Yeah, that's right, baby. Unknown from
Let's go, let's go!
Best song.
Won't be frightened now, stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe myself, won't rely on others.
Okay, well, this video isn't about that song. As much as I love this song, this video is about Knuckles. I'm sorry, I had to start the video that way. I had no choice. I love that song so much. Okay, before I get carried away again, let's transition and let's talk about Knuckles. Before I actually start talking about Knuckles, I want to say that I love making these videos for the sole reason that when I make these videos, I gain newfound appreciation for these characters. And Knuckles is going to be one of those specifically today. I haven't given Knuckles his flowers when it comes to thinking about Sonic characters and what I like about them. So being able to sit here and think about his character specifically and talk about his character, it's making me love him more. Knuckles has been put on the back burner like a lot of Sonic characters. But specifically when it comes to Sonic's rivals, of course we have so many good characters that are Sonic's rivals. They start out as his rivals, but then they end up becoming his friend. One of the main ones, of course, is Knuckles, because he was the first rival to Sonic. And sadly, Shadow kind of sucks up all the attention when it comes to Sonic's rivals, and then a few of the characters that are other rivals to Sonic don't really get much at all. And Knuckles is definitely one of them, and I think it's a huge crime that him being Sonic's first rival and the fact that he just gets overlooked all the time, I think that's a problem. He's one of the first, and he deserves to be important in that sense. When they introduced Knuckles, they gave him a lot. They gave him a lot of atmosphere. He's one of the only Sonic characters to have such an in-depth backstory and lore behind who he is and how he came to be. Let's also not forget how integral he is to the Sonic story. If we did not have Knuckles' knowledge of Master Emeralds and the Chaos Emeralds, we would not have Super Sonic. We would not have any of that. His allyship with Sonic is actually so important, because if it wasn't for Knuckles, Sonic would be like in the dark. He came from this amazing, beautiful island called Angel Island. I absolutely love Angel Island and how they made Angel Island appear. It's so pretty. And Knuckles came from one of the games that has one of the best music in the whole entire franchise. Like, do quote me on that. Do quote me on that. I grew up playing the Sonic Mega Collection, and Sonic 3 was on there. And I think Sonic 3 and Knuckles is also on there. I specifically remember playing through Mushroom Hill Zone, and I loved playing as Knuckles in Mushroom Hill Zone. When I think of Knuckles, I think of mushrooms because of that reason. Like, they really they just gave Knuckles such a compelling atmosphere, and he didn't even have to talk. But no wonder everybody likes him, and no wonder Knuckles is a lot of Sonic fans' favorite character. He's a really cool character, and his design, amazing. Like, I love his dreads. They don't do a lot with his dreads, but I love his dreads. Come on, like let's pretty up his dreads. Let's give him some braids. Like, let's do something more. The one thing that I hate that they've done recently, and I don't know, it's like, I don't know what they did. They like mess with his cranium or something.
Wrong answer, forehead.
Some shit on like the new 3D models. Like, bro, I don't know what they did to you. They like removed his brain. Well, I don't know what they did, but it doesn't have that fullness like it used to in like the older models. And so he kind of looks a little dopey. He looks a little goofy. I think that's a little insulting, bro. Bro, I don't know what happened to your cranium. I'm so sorry, Knuckles, but they did you dirty. Anyway, speaking of Sonic's rivals, and well, we talked about Shadow and how Knuckles gets overshadowed by Shadow. Sorry, that was so cringe. Knuckles is sort of cut from the same cloth as Shadow. Or you could say Shadow is cut from the same cloth as Knuckles, because Knuckles came first, but whatever, you get my point. They both like to be alone. Knuckles likes to be on his own, do things on his own, do things his own way. And that's why he's perfectly content guarding the Master Emerald for the rest of his life up on Angel Island, being alone, being at peace, discovering new things on his island, because he says he has not discovered everything on Angel Island yet. There's actually a lot more he does not know, but he is perfectly happy and fulfilled with staying on the island and continuing the legacy of his tribe. That's very admirable, and he does it with honor. He wears it with honor, and that is exactly what Knuckles is. He's an honorable, responsible dude, and he's also loyal. Knuckles only has a few people he trusts, but with those people that he trusts, they have to earn it from him. They can't, he's not going to give someone grace and his trust easily. They have to earn it. And for example, Sonic, Tails, Amy, those people specifically, and Team Chaotix, they have earned his trust. So he does trust those few. And I get that, because honestly, that's kind of how I am. There's only a few people that I really do trust, and I think that's why I don't have friends. I don't know, but I really do relate to Knuckles. I do. Like, he keeps to himself. He stays on his island. He prioritizes the responsibility of keeping the Master Emerald safe, preserving artifacts from his tribe, keeping Angel Island safe. He is perfectly fine with living a life that is just sort of simple. Like, of course he would go on adventures with the people he trusts, but he keeps it simple. He keeps it sweet. Agreed. I agree with Knuckles' philosophy in that sense. But in Frontiers, we do see a glimpse of Knuckles actually showing a little bit of wanting to get out of that cycle of staying on the island and guarding the emerald and not having to think about kind of the burden of being the last of his civilization and getting out and living and seeing things. And it's understandable. I mean, if that's the direction they're gonna take his character, do I like that necessarily? I think it can be okay, just as long as they keep that feeling of Knuckles still being content with protecting the Master Emerald, having that responsibility, because he doesn't feel like it is a burden. I say it is a burden because a lot of people would think of it that way, but he doesn't see it as that. Even though he has feelings of sadness of thinking he may be alone because he is literally the last Echidna. I mean, that is a rational feeling. I feel like anybody would feel that way. If you were the last of your family, you were the last of your family bloodline. I feel like you would feel a little alone. Like, there's of course going to be some sadness and conflict of feelings of like, well, this kind of sucks. Like, I have to carry on this legacy, but at the same time, I'm fine with carrying the legacy. But at the same time, I do want to get outside and live a little and see different things. So even if they do that with Knuckles, I do hope that they still keep that I am fine with living this legacy and protecting the Master Emerald, protecting the last things of my civilization, while I still get out and go on adventures, because that is what he does when he goes around with Sonic. Also, I love how Sonic and Knuckles joke around with each other in Frontiers. It's really fun. I like that. I would like to see more of that, please. Another trait that I relate to a lot with Knuckles is being anxious, having anxiety, especially when it comes to Master Emerald. But of course, how would he not be anxious? I mean, he has so many things that he is responsible for, and sometimes, of course, having stress like that, stressing about protecting certain things or having so many responsibilities, like I get it, adult responsibilities, you can lash out. He gets anxious, right? And some people's anxiety can manifest into anger, and anger lashing out, or like sadness lashing out. When it comes to Knuckles, he does the kind of angry lashing out, the little bursts of getting aggravated, and we see that a lot in Sonic X, and that's why I love Knuckles in Sonic X. Like, I think it's so fun when he gets called out on how stressed he can get and how he can get a little irrational in those situations. There's this specific moment with Amy calling him out on that, and I love that so much because he proves her right.
Inviting us to his base? Let's send him an RSVP on a missile.
If we do go to that base, you should stay on the ship. You're much too hot-headed for this mission.
What? I am not a hothead!
Oh, yeah?
Sonic X's portrayal of Knuckles is like honestly one of my favorites. And apart from Sonic X, Movie Knuckles has to be like my second favorite, which I think is kind of obvious. He's not hot-headed really in the movies like he is. You can tell he's from like a different environment where he's a bit goofy because he can't pick up on social cues because that's how he grew up. But I think what we're seeing, and like especially with like the Sonic movie 3 trailer, he's starting to get it, especially with this little adventure with Wade Whipple. Maybe we might review the Knuckles series in another video, because I know that is a heated thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll touch on that. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
The flames of disaster!
But speaking of Movie Knuckles, they made him a brute. They made him a brute, and that is exactly how Knuckles is. He is strong. He is strong-minded too. He has grit, and I'm glad that they portrayed that so well in the movie series, because that is what Knuckles is at his core. Also, another good portrayal of Knuckles, the Prologue animation for Sonic Frontiers with Knuckles. Amazing, bro. Why can't we get more of this when it comes to Sonic characters? Why can't we get more of this, bro? Like, the animation, amazing. It's so beautiful. Knuckles is portrayed so well in it. He holds his own. Like, he is busting up them bots. Like, and he doesn't back down. He doesn't back down until Sage comes in, whatever, because she can do whatever she wants with cyberspace, whatever. It's so good. I just don't understand why we're getting the Dark Beginnings animations for Shadow Generations. But my wish is they keep doing that. I would like a prologue animation, like a few episodes or whatever, or just one episode. It's fine. I wish they would do that with every single character. But the reason why I'm just so passionate about that is because Knuckles was done so good. Like, he was done justice in that animation, and I want to see more of Knuckles like that. And we got that a lot in Sonic X2. Do I like the fight scene between him and one of the Metarex mechs? Oh my gosh, he was killing it. He was hurt and shit, but he was killing it. He was still going, and that is what he does, bro. That is what he does. He's a fighter. I think, especially with like Sonic Frontiers, they got him so right in the animation, but the way he acts and stuff in Frontiers and the cutscenes and his character in there, he's not as cool as he could be. And that is something that I believe they've kind of lost, because Sonic is cool. Like, that's an objective fact. But Knuckles is also cool. He's swaggy. But I feel like, especially in SA2, bro, he's so cool. But they just, the bottom freak Knuckles. And we're in Pumpkin Hill. You ready? You know what I'm saying? We don't have. Where did that go? Why did they rid him of his melanin? Why would you do that? Don't do that. Bring it back. I want more of the hip hop rap Knuckles. I want that again. I would hope that we could have that again, but I don't know if we'll have that again. But that is part of Knuckles' cool factor. His tracks are like some of the best Sonic music, and I think that's just a fact. Man, he's cool. He drips of coolness, and I think they really kind of took away his coolness. Also, why would you get rid of his fangs too? Same thing with Shadow. Why are you guys removing their fangs? Don't do that too, okay? I will be a fang advocate till I die. With the Sonic characters that originally had fangs, I will be a fang advocate till I die. It gives them this edge in their appearance, and you cannot remove the edge from Knuckles and Shadow. You can't do that. Please never do that again. But even with Knuckles being cool, he's a little goofy, and because I like his goofiness, I want to see him with Team Chaotix again. And we do get that in the IDW comics. They team up to find the Babylon Rogues, because they have one of Knuckles' Echidna ancient artifacts, and then they get it from them. But I want to see Knuckles team up with Team Chaotix again, because it's the original Team Chaotix. But I like the dynamic between Espio's stoicness and Knuckles, being a little hot-headed, and Vector being like a leader, and Knuckles can be a leader too. But I just like the dynamic that Team Chaotix brings to Knuckles' personality. And they mesh so well because of course they were the original team. And I would like to see another video game where they do approach that. Because now, you know, you can have cutscenes that showcase their personality. You get what I'm saying. You can have that now. And they didn't have that. Like they had story with like the classic games, but with the original Chaotix game, it was just them teaming up and then, you know, you got to play as them with that pulley mechanic. But now I would like to see like a current game where they team up again, and I don't know what kind of pitch that would be. Like, I don't know, the Chaotix take a case, but they need Knuckles because of some specific reason. Like maybe it's a case that's a bit more challenging, but Knuckles, maybe he's the guy for the job. I don't know. That's so vague, but I want to see them team up again. It would be so fun. Knuckles deserves his own year. Like with Shadow, he deserves his own year because he is favorited and liked by a lot of the fans. And when Sonic Movie 2 came out, I guess you could say it kind of was his year, but he needs an official year, in my opinion. I think a lot of the Sonic characters need their own year. I mean, it's not like you have to declare, like, with the year of Shadow, like, oh, it's the year of Blaze, it's the year of Silver. Like, you don't have to do that. I think just with every year, they dabble into certain characters and putting more focus on them, like releasing spin-offs. I would love a Knuckles spin-off. A Knuckles spin-off would be amazing, and I think it would do well. I don't agree with people saying that different Sonic characters, apart from like Sonic or Shadow, having their own spin-off games would fail, because no, I don't think it would. If they do it well, they write a compelling story, it does the characters justice with their personalities, and they get them right, and it looks amazing. Like, you could have the coolest art style with Knuckles. You really could. And I just don't agree that spin-off games would fail when it comes to the Sonic characters. You have a huge, colorful cast of characters with very different, very distinct personalities, and it would be a crime to not explore them in their own separate stories and things. Just think about it, like Knuckles having his own fighting game, like his game would be focused on like combat, like a fighting. That would be so raw. That would be so cool. I mean, if Sonic and Sonic Unleashed can have the werehog combat stuff, why can't Knuckles have his own combat game? You get what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Anyway, to end out this video, bring back Knuckles' melanin, bring back his swag, bring back him being cool, bring back the hip hop, bring back the rap. That's all I'm asking for.